This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Who's against the fence at turn 2?
For Pete's sake.
The 49 of Troy Klein spun out on one of the pace laps.
I tell you what, I've seen that happen here. You either a friend necessarily, they're not going to tell you you're
Sprague!
Yeah, Sprague
Turn
around.
2. Pow!
The wall. Caution is that. Hold it up there. Hold it up there.
Turn 2. Caution down. Spin it 2. Be clear when you get there. Just look for liquid coming out. Just look for liquid.
You know, Sprague was just in trouble from the get-go. He's been backing up, hung up on the outside. That was inevitable.
Did Kevin Grubb make contact?
Yeah, he's down on the apron. What happened was he got down on the apron, Grubb did, slid up into Sprague. I don't know that he hit him, but he forced him up.
And that apron's a little different transition than the racetrack. You get down there too far, it'll shoot you back up the racetrack.
Got to believe he probably nerfed him. They get into the O-zones. They get a lot of O-zones around them.
Like this one.
Watch this.
Right after the restart here, Jack Sprague in the 24, Johnny Sauter in the 2.
Excuse me, pardon me. I'm coming through.
It's magnetic.
Oh, trouble, big trouble.
Hard hit.
And that was Johnny Benson hard into the wall at turn 3.
And Brian Vickers in the 40 car. Johnny Benson had already made his way up to about the 27th position after starting 43rd.
Boy, I tell you, Benson hit that wall hard. Unfortunately, right side. That car spun around and took off. You just don't realize, folks, you're doing 140 miles an hour into that third turn on this little racetrack. It's going to have some heavy impact. Not a lot of room to buff off speed.
Goes Josh Richardson up to the wall.
Look at that thing cave. Look
Crushed
at the rear tires off the ground. Again, 140 mile an hour entry into these corners. Not a lot of room to buff off speed. Pretty hard impact.
And you know what happens a lot of time in turn 1, Darrell? You arc it in there. You stay against the wall a long time on the front stretch and then chop it down trying to straighten the corner out. And a lot of times there'll be somebody there and you'll be into them before you even know it.
Oh, yeah. I was going to bump into somebody. And
Trouble.
Whoop.
2 cars, Christian Elder, turn 2. Who did he get into?
That's Mark Green, actually.
You're right.
Yeah,
38 car.
Elder usually drives that car.
Oof. That is Josh Richardson. And he is, I could make a joke with Smuckers there, but it wouldn't be kind because the back end of that car is gone.
No, and to follow up what I said about his dad, he's the crew chief on the 66 car, and he is one of the, he's Brett Bodine's nephew. Sucker hole, you got it.
The funnel grows too narrow.
Josh Richardson is okay, but he is not happy.
Taken by ground transportation to Memorial Regional Medical Center here in Richmond. He has some bruised ribs, possible concussion. He's being taken there for x-rays and a CAT scan.
And they ran this Busch race in order to do well in the Winston Cup race tomorrow. A big wreck on the speedway.
And more at turn 3. 2 more cars. Todd Bodine in the wall. And is that Jeff Green crashed there with him?
Yes, it is. A 21 car.
Well, fellas, what in the world is going on, man? All kind of stuff running out from under that car.
Now, this is out of turn 2. The 30, Tony Raines gets turned around by Randy LaJoy.
Of course, it just stacks up behind him. All these cars here, this is just a couple laps after a restart. Nowhere for these cars to go. You see Jeff Purvis in the 37, Casey Mears in the 66.
Kerry Earnhardt has brought out the 5th caution here at lap 102. Spun getting into turn 1 and pounded the wall at turn 2. Leaders making pit stops.
You play right here, Kerry Earnhardt. He just in the 12 car.
He is over here, and he just
got loose with him right there in the middle of the corner.
Easy to do getting into turn 1 here. You drive in there on the outside, get a little high, get a little stuff on your tires, round you go.
Who are you going to tell Bradshaw to call?
He needs to call 911.
10.
Tires, and he
Trouble.
went out.
Rick, turn 2.
Boy, that started going into turn 1. Kenny Wallace and the 19 car, a couple of guys were all down in there 3 wide.
And it's Lyndon Amick who ends up against the fence.
Amick was on the outside. He was kind of like the odd man out. Caused a big wreck. Here's Kenny down here. 19 car in the middle. The 19 car doesn't have much room there. Kenny clips him. That gets Kenny loose, and into Amick he goes.
Clipped Amick and then bounced up into, or clipped Ashton Lewis and then bounced up into Amick.
Oh, somebody around down there.
Casey Kane, who climbed the hill up there earlier, and this time he pounds it.
They just cannot get in there 3 wide, and it just, there's not enough room, and you got to give and take right there, and there's just not any giving going on.
7th caution.
be the 14th.
Well, it's hard to see what happened from that angle.
Yeah, it just looked like he was loose right there. Whether he got any help, I don't know. But
here we go. Well, no, he just turned down in the corner. You carry a lot of speed down in there, and the car must just have been a little free with him. Round she goes.
Quite badly. Wimmer really can't hear his pit particularly well. Pit can't hear him. They get clipped. They get a piece of a word, then a piece of another word, and so forth. He's a bit loose in. We've accumulated that much, and we get another crash. Front stretch.
It looked like Ashton Lewis going around.
About 3 big spins and a catch.
See all that smoke? That's that sealer. That's what we were talking about. Now here comes the 19 car. Is he going to get his lap back finally? I believe he is.
Will. Looks like
going to get one of them.
Here comes Shane Meal, and he may have made it.
Close.
According to score monitor, Shane Meal did not get his back, but Tim Salter in the 19 did get back. That'll put him back on the lead lap.
And that's good for him because, like I said, he's got a decent car.
Ashton Lewis is dizzy. Man,
he was spinning down through here. Now that sealer, like we said, spinning around, the tires spinning, just puts up a huge cloud like a smoke screen.
Kenny Wallace misses another one.
Look at that. Look at all that sealer, all that smoke, green that we were talking about. God, there's the guy that was lucky, that 38
Mark
car.
Green. Just one spin, it looked like 3.
It did. It looked like he did a huge donut. And so maybe they're trying to start a new trend with a new driver.
You know, of our cars that pitted, the lead lap cars that pitted on lap 147, Jason Keller in the 57, he's the highest running car right now.
Whoa.
He's up to 6th position.
Turn 3, excuse me, Larry. Mark Green. I think the engine might have gone up. A lot of flames from the back of that car.
And the caution will be out. Caution is out.
Something erupted in that bad boy. I hope there's no fluid over there because it looked like that was oil.
The car slowed dramatically in the backstretch, and then there was a lot of flame. And then he may have shut it down.
I think he did.
And that's the caution that everybody was looking for.
Yeah, and what a dilemma those guys are faced with. And let's look at the replay right here. This is looking at a Stacy Compton's car.
Somehow that you can see the sparks and the smoke flying out from under the 38 car. Stacy just runs in the back of him because all of a sudden he stops. You see it looks like a transmission or a gear or something may have let go in that
Something
thing.
definitely let go big time. You can see the oil fire out the back of the car.
10th caution flag of the night, one shy of the record. Here's Steve.
It's a big difference on the stopwatch, but it makes a difference in how you can maneuver that race car. You can turn it if you need to turn it. If it gets a little loose, it's a little more forgiving with fresher tires.
And if you're back in traffic, you're going to need to be able to maneuver. Here goes 57 by the 23. Jason Keller gets by Wimmer in the 60 car with the Biffles right there with him.
That's second place.
And I'd say that that's bad news for Bobby Jr. because these guys are coming.
He needed him to stay back there behind Wimmer just a little bit longer.
And
turn 2, log jam. Riggs got collected and into the fence hard.
Bye.
Caution is out.
Okay?
10 cars crashed.
I'm okay.
Said he's okay. That's good news.
Kenny Wallace who got together with Riggs. But that was just it was a wad back there, Darrell.
Oh, yeah. Well,
everybody
like
trying to move forward all at the same time.
That's the only thing about new tires, old tires, and the difference in the cars. Just like Larry said, a guy on old tires.
Up in front of Riggs as well. Watch the second yellow car in your picture and the third one right there.
Yeah, Scott ran up on the back of that blue and white car in front of him. I couldn't tell which car that was. I think he had to check up. When he did, Kenny got in the back of him.
Scott Riggs, third in points coming into this race.
There you see he gets a little loose. Mainly because he had nowhere to go. He had to check up just a tad, and Kenny had a head of steam and got into the back end of him. It's unfortunate for Scott. I mean,
I'm not sure, but that may have been, I think that was Randy LaJoie just ahead of him.
Didn't look too happy.
Nope.
I think he may have a little message for him. I think that safety worker has his helmet. Oh, he's a very unhappy young man. And I tell you, the spirit and the passion that kid has, I can't tell you how much he is controlling himself. So in his manners, he's dodged a bunch of bullets tonight. Going to get him a good top 5 finish here. Good for Mikey. He got a little consistency going. 2 top 10s in the Cup car. Now he comes in here, and that we finished in the top 10 in the car in this car out of California last week. Top 5 this week.
And Darrell, he's going to be the only Winston Cup driver, one of the bushwhackers as we call him, to finish in the top 10 tonight.
And that could pay off big for Dale Jr. and Steve Clark tomorrow night, because he's going to have a lot of good information to give to his teammates.
Last time around for Jason Keller.
And Kenny Wallace just slowing down. I don't know if he's got a problem, fuel, engine.
All right, buddy, you're on your own from here. I'm going to victory lane.
I like that.
Jason Keller has won in Richmond. You're the man, man.
I thought that was Archie. It's not. It's the 8th career win for Keller. He takes over the point lead and scores his 3rd win of the year.
And Brian Vickers moved into 7th place coming off turn 4. He got by Wimmer.
Good run for that young man.
It is. Hank Parker 6.
But I'm impressed with that run. 2nd place, Ashton Lewis Jr. in the 46 car.
By far a career best for him. And a tough ending for a fellow who had a great race standing by with Steve.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.